The old Victorian house stood on a hill, overlooking a valley washed in the golden hues of summer. Its weathered facade and slightly disrepaired structure whispered tales of a bygone era, yet it held an undeniable charm. The Johnson family, weary of city life, found its charm irresistible. They had longed for a place where they could reconnect with nature and each other, away from the relentless pace of urban living. John, ever the optimist, saw a fresh start. He envisioned endless possibilities, from restoring the house to its former glory to creating a sanctuary for his family. Mary, his wife, envisioned their children, 10-year-old David and 12-year-old Sarah, running through the sprawling gardens. She dreamed of laughter echoing through the halls and family gatherings under the open sky. Sunshine Hill, as they decided to call it, was their dream come true. A picturesque escape from the city's clamor, it was a place where they could build new memories and find solace in the beauty of nature. The air smelled of honeysuckle and freshly cut grass. The garden, though overgrown, was a treasure trove of vibrant blooms and hidden pathways waiting to be discovered. Sunlight streamed through stained glass windows, painting vibrant patterns on the hardwood floors. Each room was bathed in a warm, inviting glow that made the house feel alive. Excitement bubbled within them as they unpacked boxes, each room holding the promise of a new beginning. They could already see their future unfolding in this enchanting place. Little did they know, darkness lurked beneath the surface of their idyllic haven. The house, with its creaking floorboards and shadowed corners, held secrets that were waiting to be uncovered. The house, with its creaking floorboards and shadowed corners, held secrets, whispers of a past buried deep within its walls. These whispers would soon grow louder, revealing a history that was both fascinating and terrifying. A past that would soon stir from its slumber, threatening to shatter the family's newfound peace. The Johnsons would have to confront the mysteries of Sunshine Hill, facing challenges they never anticipated in their quest for a fresh start. The first few weeks were idyllic. The family felt like they had stepped into a dream, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the warmth of each other's company. Days were spent exploring the gardens, where the children laughed and played, and the couple found solace in the vibrant blooms and serene pathways. Evenings were magical, spent by the fireplace, sharing stories and creating memories that they thought would last a lifetime. But as the initial excitement faded, a subtle unease crept into their lives. The once comforting silence of the house began to feel oppressive. It began with whispers, faint, indistinct murmurs that seemed to emanate from the walls themselves. The family tried to ignore them, but the whispers grew louder and more persistent.
I keep waking up at night, convinced I hear my name being called. It's like someone is trying to reach out to me from the darkness.
Mary, too, felt a chill down her spine as she walked through the empty hallways. The once familiar paths now seemed like a maze of shadows and echoes. Doors creaked open on their own as if moved by unseen hands. And cold drafts swept through the house, carrying with them a sense of foreboding even on the warmest days. The house seemed to have a life of its own, one that was not entirely welcoming.
John, I can't shake off this feeling of being watched. It's like there are eyes on us, even when we're alone, of unseen eyes following our every move. It's unnerving and I can't find peace.
John dismissed it as an old house settling, a natural occurrence in such an aged structure. But Mary couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched, the sensation growing stronger with each passing day, of unseen eyes following their every move. The shadows seemed to dance and shift, hinting at a presence just out of sight. Their dream home was beginning to feel more and more like a gilded cage, trapping them in a web of fear and uncertainty, its charm slowly giving way to an unsettling sense of dread. The house that once promised joy and comfort now loomed over them with an ominous presence. One humid afternoon, while exploring the dusty attic, Sarah stumbled upon a hidden compartment behind a loose brick. Inside, she found a small, leather-bound diary, its pages brittle with age. The diary belonged to Elizabeth, a young woman who had lived in the house over a century ago. Sarah, drawn to the mystery, began reading.
Elizabeth's words, penned in elegant cursive, painted a picture of a life both beautiful and tragic. She wrote of her love for the house, of her family, and of a darkness that had slowly enveloped her husband.
As Sarah delved deeper into the diary, a sense of unease settled upon her. The writing grew more erratic, filled with paranoia and fear. Elizabeth spoke of her husband's descent into madness, of strange rituals and whispered conversations with unseen entities. Each page Sarah turned unveiled a new layer of horror, a chilling testament to the darkness that had consumed Elizabeth's life. Elizabeth's husband, driven by an insatiable lust for power, had become obsessed with the occult. His descent into madness was marked by an unquenchable thirst for forbidden knowledge. He conducted dark rituals within the very walls of the house, summoning forces he could neither control nor comprehend. The air grew thick with malevolence, and shadows seemed to move with a life of their own.
Elizabeth, horrified by her husband's actions and fearing for her life, chronicled everything in her diary. Her once elegant handwriting became frantic and desperate, a mirror of her deteriorating sanity. The entries were filled with desperation, her words a frantic plea for help. She wrote of the unspeakable horrors she witnessed and her growing fear that she would not survive her husband's madness. She wrote of being trapped in a nightmare, haunted by the entities her husband had unleashed. The house, once a sanctuary, had become a prison of terror and despair.
The final entry sent shivers down Sarah's spine. It was a desperate cry for help, a last attempt to reach out from beyond the grave. It spoke of a struggle, of blood, and of Elizabeth's desperate attempt to stop her husband before he could drag them both into the abyss. The pages were stained with blood, a grim testament to the violence that had ensued. The diary ended abruptly, leaving Sarah with a chilling certainty. Elizabeth's story and her torment didn't end with her death. The malevolent forces her husband had summoned still lingered, waiting for their next victim.
Help me, please. Find peace for us both. The ghostly whisper echoed in the silence, a plea that transcended time and space, begging for release from the eternal torment.
The diary's revelations cast a dark pall over the Johnson family. The strange occurrences, once easily dismissed, now held a sinister significance. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, and shadows seemed to dance at the edge of their vision.
One night, I saw it, a figure standing at the foot of my bed. My face went pale with terror.
When I rushed in, there was nothing there, but the temperature had plummeted. A palpable sense of dread hung in the air.
Then came the nightmares, vivid, horrifying visions that left them waking up in cold sweats.
I saw Elizabeth, her eyes wide with terror, pleading for help.
I dreamt of being chased through the darkened hallways of the house by an unseen entity.
The haunting was escalating, tightening its grip on their sanity. Desperate, John and Mary reached out to Dr. Emily Carter, a renowned paranormal investigator known for her pragmatic approach to the supernatural. Emily listened patiently as they recounted their experiences, her gaze sharp and analytical.
After visiting Sunshine Hill and experiencing its unsettling aura firsthand, I can confirm your worst fears. The house is indeed a beacon for lost and angry spirits, tethered to the physical realm by unfinished business or a traumatic past.
Emily explained that Elizabeth's husband, in his pursuit of power, had opened a doorway to a dark dimension, and the spirits drawn to the house were caught in the crossfire.
They are trapped, unable to move on, their anger and despair seeping into the very fabric of the house. Emily, with her calm demeanor and air of authority, offered a glimmer of hope. She proposed a cleansing ritual, a way to appease the spirits and guide them towards the light. The ritual, she warned, would be dangerous. The entities, clinging to their anger, would resist, and the house would become a battleground.
The family, despite their fear, agreed. They had to do something to reclaim their home, to break free from the terror that had ensnared them.
Emily, with the help of the family, prepared the house for the ritual. They covered the windows, lit candles, and arranged protective symbols around the room. The air grew thick with anticipation and fear.
As Emily began the ancient chant, the house stirred. The temperature plummeted, and the shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist. The whispers escalated into blood-curdling screams, the air thick with rage and despair.
The entity, sensing its hold on the house slipping, fought back. Objects flew across the room, furniture overturned, and the house seemed to groan in protest.
The family huddled together, their fear palpable. Emily, her voice unwavering, continued the ritual, her resolve strengthening with each passing moment. The room pulsed with energy, a chaotic ballet of light and shadow. The battle raged on, a desperate struggle between the forces of darkness and the hope for peace. Finally, as the first rays of dawn pierced through the cracks in the boarded-up windows, Emily completed the ritual. A wave of energy surged through the house, followed by an eerie silence. The air, once thick with malevolence, felt lighter, cleaner.
The spirits, their rage spent, appeared before the family. They were no longer the menacing figures from the nightmares, but rather lost and sorrowful souls. Elizabeth, her ethereal form shimmering with a gentle light, stepped forward. She thanked the family for freeing them from their torment and for allowing them to finally find peace.
With Elizabeth and the other spirits finally at peace, a sense of calm settled over Sunshine Hill. The whispers ceased, the shadows retreated, and the air no longer held the weight of fear. It was as if the house itself had exhaled, releasing decades of pent-up pain and sorrow. The Johnson family, forever marked by their experience, decided to stay. They felt a sense of responsibility to honor Elizabeth's memory and to ensure that the peace they had found would remain undisturbed. Sunshine Hill, once a place of terror, had become a sanctuary, a testament to the enduring power of hope and the possibility of finding light even in the darkest of places.